What's up, guys? Jonathan Lawton, professional from New Jersey, playing with the Ringwood Hawks for the NBL 1 South. Played over in Iceland, Ireland, and now the homeland of Australia.
What do you think brought you to Australia?
It's funny, I had a connection with my assistant coach in college. He played with Ringwood a few years back before COVID, and just simply from a connection helped me get in contact with the coach. And after a few months of talking, we made Australia a thing.
Did you have your own player agent, or did you get yourself here on your own?
Previously, I did have an agent. It's a little tricky working with agents, and I decided to take a step back because of COVID. It was just tough trying to find an opportunity for myself, and just took a chance and said I'm just going to do it on my own, and it's basically been working out.
Tell us a little bit about last year with Ringwood.
Last year was, I would definitely say it was a roller coaster of emotions, with the constants up and downs of being in the games, losing by so close, wanting to work with the guys as much as working on my personal goals. But it was worthwhile because I felt like I grew up. Being able to communicate, being able to be myself, that was the biggest thing and the biggest struggle, I would say, of playing professional. And I felt like I found a team, a group of individuals that allowed me to basically grow here. So I think that's the best way to summarize last season, is just growth.
What do you feel Ringwood did to help support you with that?
They allowed me to fail. I think the biggest thing as an athlete is, it comes with its up and downs. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to spotlight in certain areas. But in times that, things weren't working well for me, specifically like an injury that I had midway through the season, they allowed me to kind of grind it out, go through my emotions, the mental side of it, of, hey, trying to stay focused, not trying to worry about your knee. And they kind of just came with the arms open like, hey, we're trusting you that you're going to get through this. And that doesn't really happen in professional basketball.
Do you feel that these failures are one of the big draw cards of what brought you back for a second season?
Yeah, there's this concept of things got to get worse before it gets better. You build that resilience when you go through the upsets in life, or like you said, the failures. This was an opportunity for me to see that and work day to day to try and get through it. So I think that it was a testament to the end of the season. The last 5 games, I kind of fell into a groove because it was those ups and downs. And like I said, it kind of progressed to where I am right now.
What sort of things do you feel like you guys are working on as a team at the moment to improve on last season?
The biggest thing right now is one voice. Everybody, again, has their personal goals. They have their things that they want to see themselves, do on the court. But one voice is the biggest thing. If we can stick together and come together in the times that we're winning, in the times that we're down or somebody went on a run, I feel like in basketball, that's the biggest thing. And guys are stepping into it. It's difficult, and saying it's not easy. There are days where you're just like, I just want to do my own thing, but realizing that the ultimate goal is to get wins. And winning teams, as you see, especially those that are working together, like I said, prevail. So that's the biggest thing for us, is just one word, one voice.
And what are you looking forward to most this season?
Just the excitement from the crowds. Like I said, the last 4 to 5 games, like the kids that were coming to each game, you could just feed off of it. They were just always screaming, yelling when the other team's on the free throw line, when we're on the free throw line, encouraging us to go. It's just, I'm ready to put on a show for them, as much as it is for myself, but just show everybody, like, this is the work. This is what I've been doing for the time that I wasn't here. And we're going to keep on going and growing.
The kids that come to the games, you spend a lot of time doing some individual coaching, and you did some work with a rep team last year. Like, what sort of things do you do with these kids that you feel allows to help them grow and develop?
It's the basics. It's the simple things. Like I say, when I started, I was taught the fundamentals of basketball. Nowadays, you see the glitz and glamours, everybody doing crazy moves, and kids like to copy that. But the thing about basketball is you're building your own craft. It's like your art piece, your Picasso. So with a lot of kids, we start from the basics, working on your form, working on being confident with the ball in different areas, and it kind of brings enjoyment because you kind of challenge the kid, like, okay, this was easy, now let's do something to where you're counting numbers, keep your eyes up, or you have somebody bigger than you messing around with you while you're dribbling. As kids, you don't normally get that, and it's like that helps them kind of, I guess, expand or grow their game a lot faster. But I try to focus on the basics, like not too much, don't like to overload. And the biggest thing is spending time with them. You spend time with the kids, one, they enjoy that time. And I know as myself, as a kid, all I wanted to do was be around those guys that are playing at the higher levels, because just by being there, you just absorb so much and you just learn. And some things you only have to teach them.
What sort of impact do you feel you have on these kids off the court?
I think my energy, I kind of say my childish side, like the biggest thing that I've kind of been okay with is the concept of being a kid, not being immature. Obviously, as you get older and business gets involved, you have to act a part. You have to be a part in certain situations, but showing those kids that in certain situations, this is how you respond and this is how you handle things. But when I'm around them, let's have fun. There's times where, we can be a little, I'm not going to say lackadaisical, that's not the best word to use, but like there's times where you have to be super focused and there's times where you can be a kid. But understand that you got to lock in certain aspects of life. So I think that's the biggest thing, is just like kind of having that balance, teaching them that balance.
What lessons did you take from the knee injury, and what have you learnt and built upon from that?
Patience, trusting the process. Coming here to SRA kind of took me through those steps. I wanted to get back on the court. I was kind of stressed because I was like, I don't know how long this injury is going to last. But working with SRA, being in the gym with the other pros, and seeing everybody go through their personal, I'm not going to say injuries, but struggles on the court, and taking it day by day to kind of focus on the details, was just like, okay, I'm in a safe space. I'm in a safe environment that allows me to be okay that I'm not back where I want to be. And I think doing that honestly accelerated it, because it's just the energy. It's like I said, the environment that you're in just kind of pushed it there. So the knee injury kind of didn't seem like a setback after a little while. Yeah, aches and pains, in the game, somebody bumps you, you want to kind of not get hit again, but I knew that I had a good support system. So fight through it, get through this adversity, and then you can come right back to SRA to get right back on track.
What do you feel SRA has done to help you kind of get better with your professional basketball journey?
The biggest thing is details. My process and my journey with basketball, I'll be honest, weight training wasn't at the top, but I always had injuries, and my injuries were rest injuries. It wasn't really something to where you got to completely stop, go through rehab, go through surgery or anything. It was always, you have to maintain and keep on building and build that foundation. So SRA helped me build that foundation to where this is the expectation, and we want to build from this piece. And doing so, I moved weight that I probably never thought I was going to move. And like I said, having Sean as that kind of leader or that head person really helped me kind of just like look up to somebody in a way like, hey, I have questions. Okay, this is how we're going to go about it. This doesn't feel comfortable. Okay, let me check this out, see what you're doing, and then kind of focus on, hey, if you need to squeeze in your core or activate your glutes, we're going to do this first before you go and move weight. So it's just being okay with taking that step back to progress 3 steps forward.
What have you enjoyed most about being back at SRA since coming back from Ireland?
Like I said, it's the environment. You walk in here, it kind of lights up. Like, it's like, all right, we're about to get to work. And just hearing Sean, like I said, just having that plan for me, it's like I really don't have to do much thinking except go in there and just do the work. And as an athlete, you have that concept of not really thinking too much, because if you think on the court, you kind of can distract yourself. You can kind of worry about things that you don't need to worry about. But coming back here is just like you're back in the groove. And I missed it, honestly. Going to other countries, going back home, you don't have the same environment. But coming here, it just felt like when I left, I stepped right back into like that next day. So I'm excited just to see where this takes me through this whole season because we've already started off on a good foot.
What does flow state mean to you?
Flow state, it's the mentals. You have this concept. You got to work on being in your flow state because it's just your focus. A lot of people kind of, and I can say for myself, there's times to where you're not really aware of what's going around, but if you have certain triggers, like people will say trigger words, I think, or like a key word that will bring you back to your foundation. Like for myself, doing something as simple as this is like lock in, because this is kind of hard to do if you're not really locked in and you're worried about other things. So it's kind of that concept of looking through the lens. And when you want to focus more, the lens kind of gets tighter and tighter. So that's what flow state is for me. It's just how can you focus and really lock in onto the details.
Do you have any quick tips on how athletes can practice and improve on their own flow state?
Breathing exercises, we have those that we implement into our training to where that's a moment where you block out everything around you. Focusing on your 7-11 breathing through your stomach, that takes a lot of focus because naturally when you breathe, people breathe through their chest. So that diaphragm breathing really takes a lot of, okay, I have to do this for my 7 seconds and control myself. And so I feel like breathing exercises, journaling is another thing that I've been working on, just taking that time to brain dump. We live in a society where things are happening so fast. So I think, writing is a key concept because you really get to focus on where you're at in the moment. So I would say those two things. And my last one, I like to do it. I don't do it every week, but meditation. Taking 5 to 10 minutes out your day just to sit there in silence, breathing, taking your time because, like I said, we live in a fast-paced society and we live in, I guess, a moment where you want things now. But if you can kind of bring yourself back and refocus, you realize that it's the steps, it's the details, it's the little things in life that kind of ultimately get you to where you want to get to.
Your own apparel brand, Simple. Tell us a bit about that.
It's a way of life, I say that the things that I do, how I handle myself on the court, even outside, is the simple. I pick my priorities in life. I pick my priorities on the court. Before the game, after the game, like every single time, you have to focus on your goals. And so if you sit there and realize that it's step by step to complete that goal, I use the concept of tying your shoe. As a kid, when you start to learn how to tie your shoe, you have to cross your shoelace. You have to make sure it's tight. Do your bunny ears or your wraparound. There's steps to make sure your shoelaces are completely tied so they don't come unraveled because that's the goal, is to tie your shoe so your shoe stays on and you don't have to keep on doing it. So simple for me is just the day by day, brick by brick. What are you doing to continue to build on to basically succeed in whatever aspect of your life? And like I said, my encouragement for others is it's not easy, but if you focus on the little details, the simple things, it becomes, I would say, worthwhile. You enjoy the journey, the ups and downs. When you mess up, you're like, okay, I could just go back to step 1. Step 1, step 2, step 3 gets me to the next step. So it's the simple things. It's easy.
For athletes, young kids, other coaches or professionals, what's the best way for them to kind of follow your journey?
I guess the best way is just follow your passion, follow your dream. If there's something that you really want to work on, block out all the negativity, the doubts. Understand that for myself, I'll give an example. My goal as a kid was to be a professional player. Growing up, my days were you go to school, you work out, you go to practice. You're up from 6:30 in the morning to about 9:30 at night, and you're doing that 5 to 6 days a week. I didn't go out to party, didn't get to hang out with my friends all the time, but the day by day kind of led me to this point. Am I exactly where I envisioned as a kid? I envisioned myself like Allen Iverson. We all have dreams. But now I'm in a position to where I'm working and doing the things that an athlete's doing. So it's looking at where you're at, being grateful for being in that position, but continue to work, because I always say, I'm a big component of my faith. You get rewarded for your hard work. So my faith is in the work. And as long as I continue to do my work, whatever's for me in life will come to me in life. So it's just like, enjoy the journey. Enjoy the ups and downs. We have injuries. We have times where we messed up or where we've been doubtful in a situation. But I always say, there's lessons and there's blessings in life. There's never failures. So just look at it like that, and you'll kind of just see that the days just kind of just flow back to the flow state.
If people wanted to reach out to you or kind of follow along on your journey, would you say Instagram is the best way for them to reach out, follow along?
I'm on Instagram almost every day, every other day. You can reach out. I'm always posting something because I want to be kind of transparent. Like I said, I have my days. There's days, like the last couple of days, it was hot. So for me, understanding that pushing during those days might take me a couple steps back because I'm wearing my body out. So that's a perfect day to recover. Hey guys, this is what I do on a hot day. So I'm pretty transparent with my life. I'm pretty transparent with what's going on in my life. So follow me on Instagram is the best way. And like I say, I always tell people, follow me on my journey. And then the people that I post, I feel like are on the same path. So whenever you see anybody that I'm posting on my story or on my Instagram or any reel or anything, go and follow them as well, because when you follow their day-to-day, they're all trying to reach something in their life, and we're all just trying to grow. So social media, JLawton.3, follow me, and enjoy life, I guess. Like, that's just, I love it. Glad to be here.